Bethesda. And it just kind of steamrolled into this forever free movement. People made a gigantic fuss about it, and it ended up costing Valve, I believe, somewhere along the lines of like $500,000 in email storage to keep up with the complaints.
Which is funny because that's their justification for not making Half-Life 3 is that at the chance that the internet hated it, it would damage Valve, which makes so much money through Steam, that it's not worth them making it when they weigh it out. They're like, well, we're just not going to make Half-Life 3 on the chance that people might not like it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got things like, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, both started as a, whatchamacallit, as mods. And they both got picked up. The entire teams got picked up by Valve, and they were turned into full-on fucking games.
Right.
Then you've got Dota, Team Fortress, Counter-Strike. You can pay for things. You can pay for mods. Counter-Strike's a little different, but Millennia, the great weapon modder, makes mods for Counter-Strike, submits them, and they get sold on the store. And you can make shit for TF2, and it's like, I don't know, 75 cents to $1 for like a box that gives you like 3 things.
I got a buddy that he's been trying to talk me into making weapons for Counter-Strike, and I keep telling him to get bent. Like, I don't have any interest in playing Counter-Strike. I think it's old as shit.
Yeah. And again, a big problem with the whole concept of monetized modding is that there's so much derivative work, people working on top of other people's work. And, Steam is not very good at checking this shit. I think that was one of the big reasons the paid modding scene got shut down. I think it might have been Chesco that made this like immersive fishing mod or whatever, and it was like $1 or something. But it was using someone else's animations. And the author of the monetized file spoke to a Steam representative, saying, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this. What do I do? And the Steam representative said, fuck 'em. If it's free, you can use it. So, that shit, that's gotta be removed.
It's when I'm misunderstood about that BF42 mod for Fallout. I had a buddy that was modding Battlefield back in the day, and they were making a 1942 mod, and he was irate that I guess like DICE had invited a bunch of modders to a conference and then stole a bunch of their mods and implemented them in their next game. And it's that's that corporate attitude, like a a legal umbrella company that would sink a game because of some legal clause because they can capitalize on that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a thing, While we do have copyright on our ideas, we do not own the intellectual property. And by distributing that, we are giving them license to redistribute that as they see fit. It's, we own the assets that we create, just as you own anything once you put pen to paper or otherwise. But we don't own the Fallout intellectual property. That is why Bethesda gets such a big cut when it comes to monetization, and that is why they can implement ideas from mods into their games, because everything we come up with cannot exist outside of their intellectual property unless explicitly stated.
Well, they can steal my Field Burn mod.
Exactly. You know, they have license to use your ideas.
I got so much backlash on that thing. Like not a single problem or bug at all, but like 5 pages of hate. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty sad how much people hate on mod developers for no
I,
fucking reason.
nah, it's to be expected, I guess. With it was a little tasteless of me to do in the first place, maybe anyway. But eh,
Well, I mean, modding is an expression of creativity. If you want to express your creativity by endorsing Bernie Sanders in some way, that's fine. If people want
oh
to,
god, if I do a second version, it's gonna be obnoxious.
yeah, dude, fucking get Bernie to voice act for it or something.
I should like step it up.
Yeah,
Wait till he's out the
Hardcore.
primaries.
yeah. Make a Bernie companion.
Make 2 new factions, Trump versus Bernie.
That's
I was
right.
trying to get Arwen to do a Bernie Sanders hair, but she wasn't really biting on the idea.
Well, yeah, Nero. I mean, some mod developers are extremely obnoxious, and unfortunately, your ego is going to depend and change person to person. But you know, there's a lot of people who are super obnoxious.
Well, Nero TV, I didn't have the best week. I put up a big, super obnoxious fact, as you said, mainly because people were asking, why is my armor invisible? And this was kind of frustrating, because after 5 months of Fallout more modding, people didn't know how to install mods, and instead of actually telling them how, I said, you shouldn't be, using mods, and if you keep getting asking the same question over and over again, it can sort of grate on you after a while. So, I mean that's one of the, and sometimes people can be like, you spend hours, yes, doing it without pay, and you've put it all up, and people immediately ask for something else. And again, I'm not complaining, but sometimes if they keep asking for something else over and over again, you feel a little bit underappreciated. So you end up you just close up in, and you become a bit protective. But that's probably not the best way to do it, and you're right. So.
And you know, Crash Crisis brings up a good point here. We get a lot of hate for tucking in the pants on the veteran gear.
Yeah, I just ignore that, guys.
Like, I understand it takes away a little bit from the whole spaghetti western feel of New Vegas, but what the fuck? It's pants being untucked.
Hey, pants not
How
accurate.
dare
0
you.
out of 10 whole mod.
What up?
Well, I said pants not accurate. 0 out of 10 whole mod.
Pretty much. Like,
That's pretty much yeah.
I could technically untuck the pants. It would be a lot more work than it's worth. In particular because we designed it originally to be the entire thing upgrading through the Riot Gear variants, which has the tucked in pants, and that's why we did it that way. But I mean, I don't think they understand the amount of work it would take to just add on those stupid pants. I mean, the sheer fact that, Obsidian's cool with the design, they like it. They've dropped in to the stream before when I was working on it. It's okay. I understand that people want a one-to-one replica, but that's not what we are intending to do.
1-to-1 520p NL.
Yeah, we are not exactly replicating anything. We are replicating an iconic design, retaining that character, and reworking it to fit within the new art style and the new proportions. Not everything is going to work. And as Vidgrod just said, not everyone's going to like it. I just had whatchamacallit? There was a video on YouTube showcasing the ported version of the Elite Gear. And, there was a comment on it, this is so much better than the other one. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. You can have your opinion.
But it's
then-
not though.
What?
It's not better.
Well,
Like
yeah.
objectively not better.
Yeah. But then, there's someone else who responds to that, and they come up with this, like, checklist as to why ours is not better. And they're like, oh, because it's super thin. And, oh, because the coat doesn't have physics. And
Sorry?
the helmet looks wrong. And I'm sitting here like, our Ranger is the thickest armor in the game. Outside of power armor, it is legitimately 100% the bulkiest armor in the game. It is also bulkier than the original. 2, it is the first publicized object to have coat physics in a modded item.
Oh,
I-
you see that that thing in the back for Fallout New Vegas? What's it called? Let's just call it the oxygen tank or whatever.
Yeah.
Those small things. They aren't rigged properly in Fallout New Vegas, vanilla Fallout New Vegas, but ours are.
Yeah.
Doesn't the one in New Vegas kind of stretch?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it moves around. And, they said that ours doesn't have coat physics. That is a huge thing that people think, and I don't understand why. I rigged up the Ranger with the coat physics and everything within like 2 hours of the 3ds Max plugin being released. The first time I exported it and got it in-game, the coat physics worked. That was the only thing that worked. The arms and legs were missing. But the coat physics worked. There is so much misdirection. And I was talking with someone in the Nexus chat room about this last night. They kept saying that Fallout 4 broke my computer. And I told them that, A, that's a libelous and defamatory statement. B, if you're going to make claims like that could have legal repercussions, then check them. So I asked them, how did it kill your computer? They told me that their computer would not run Fallout at all. So they performed a bunch of registry edits to make the game run. And then their computer died. They broke their computer. They are making libelous and defamatory statements, and that totally works into people saying, it's super thin, it doesn't have coat physics, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah,
It's worse than it. It's worse than it was 4 years ago in terms of the actual user base.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, does the ported ERG, just as an aside, does the ported ERG actually have coat physics?
Yeah, it does. I don't know which thing they got it from, which outfit. I know ours is a little bit wonky because it uses the Silver Shroud, because that was the only one that I could find that was a same approximate length. But the Silver Shroud outfit is closed in the front, whereas ours is open. So, I don't... Ours is a little buggy because of that.
If you need a different reference, I think McCready's Duster would count.
McCready's is close, but it's not long enough, and it also doesn't cover enough of the front.
What about Valentine's coat?
It's close, but again, it's closed around the waist.
Ah.
So, it is very hard to find something that's functional. The Silver Shroud outfit was, great as far as proportion fitting. The only problem with it is that it's closed in the front, so we have some strange warping in the front area. Oh yeah, and then the third problem with the Ranger is that the helmet is, totally wrong. The problem with that line of thinking is that...
Definitely,
Say again?
definitely wrong. Every way.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with that line of thinking is after we technically finished it, before I got the model in-game, Face Punch threw a fit about it, and I was totally cool with that. And so I brought in the New Vegas helmet into 3DS, scaled it to fit ours, and I proportion matched it identically with face snapping. Outside of topology, there is no difference. you know, every like